I used to ride Broncos and chase skirts with pride. Now I just hope my pants still fit and my socks match both sides. Well, I roll out of bed with a groan and a crack. My spine played a tune and my knees talked back. Shuffled to the throne like a cowboy half gone. Then hollered real loud, felt a dip I didn't count on. My balls touched the toilet water, Lord, I nearly cried. It was colder than my ex-wife on our wedding night. They used to be proud, high-fiving in their prime. Now they dip like tea bags in early morning time. I checked the mirror just to confirm the scene. Turns out getting older ain't just growing lean. Your hair thins, your gut grows, your knees start to fight, and your boys take the plunge in the middle of the night. Gravity's the enemy, I've come to find, tugging at my dignity 1 inch at a time. My balls touched the toilet water, God, I wasn't prepared. Used to stand like a stallion, now I perch scared. No one warned me aging came with a splash. Now every sit down's a game of dodge the dash. Doctor said it's normal, son, don't lose hope. Then handed me a brochure for elastic rope. Said lift 'em, tuck 'em, sit sideways on the seat. Just don't let 'em cannonball when it's time to take a seat. So here's to all the cowboys whose saddlebags hang low. Ain't about shame, it's just something we all come to know. You fought hard in your prime, now you're riding slow and wise. But sometimes your fellas take a dip without a rise. My balls touch the toilet water, ain't much left to prove. If your parts are pendulums, just learn how to move. Ain't no shame in sagging, it's the price of living long. So wear your age with pride and sing the splashy song. So next time you feel a chill, it might not be the draft, it might just be the thrill.
I'm Juan Jose Carlos Nacho de la Cruz Rodriguez Martinez Lopez.
Bye. Go home to mommy.
Did Biden send you? Are you Border Patrol?
I have no higher responsibility than to defend our country from threats and invasions, and that is exactly what I am going to do.
I'm a sneaky wizard.
The people that came in, they're eating the cats. They're eating the pets.
Oh, I do more than that. I do some landscaping, concrete, some quinceañeras, jazzercise.
I love Hispanics, and they're hard workers, and boy, are they entrepreneurial, and they're great people, and they are warm.
Okay, wait. I have an idea. You stay here, and we keep running.
It's illegal.
Do you know how much paperwork I have to do now? No thanks, Lord Farquaad.
Whoop whoop, how's it? Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, good afternoon, good day to all you wonderful people out there. It's absolutely excellent to be back again. Yes, age is catching us all and that water is getting mighty close. So yeah, I thought I'd start off with something to make us smile a little bit as we go along. Trump, I'm just pulling his leg, but yeah, that was a pretty cool one as well. But yeah, that toilet water is getting mighty close, and we got to watch that splish splash these days because it's, yeah, I got back in the bath. But yeah, but hello to one and all. Don't forget, day by day, what you choose, what you think, what you do is what you become. Came back the other day, I said to Ina as well, I said, I'm tired, my feet are tired, I want to go to sleep, I'm just having a hectic day. But let me tell you what, I went through this day went quick, it was heavy, it was great. I was able to go through it, and boy, am I energized to get done what I need to get done. Excuse me a second. But and I just said, I went back to that make your own damn cheese thing again, where I actually said, you know, what you put into your subconscious, what you put into your conscious goes into your subconscious, and it starts busy planting and growing. So the more you decide that you're miserable, the more you decide that you're unhappy, the more you decide everything's going to go wrong. Oh, trust me, baby, hold on to your G-string because it's going to go wrong. Good evening to everybody out there. Buzzy, thank you very much for always nagging me for that link. I'm really, really pleased that you do. Thank you very much. White Zulu, the beautiful lady Fiona in waiting. Thank you so much for always tuning in. It is such a wonderful thing to always see you, and you are such a wonderful, wonderful, beautiful person. Please don't forget, go and subscribe to White Zulu's YouTube page. The link is in the description downstairs as well. Absolutely stunning, stunning story read by the author, and what a beautiful, wonderful woman it is. Yep. Somebody say corals? Yeah, good grief, I don't know. But yes, what you put in, you take out. I haven't watched church today yet, Coral. I'm going straight afterwards. However, let me tell you, Coral, if Coral's on here, I will tell you something, brother. The other day you were in church and you were talking about the new church, and you were trying to tell them that the room on the roof on the coffee, the new coffee room has been put on. And it's been, and you paused, and then you went, Gefogger. I'm so pleased that you got the second GER in there. Otherwise, it would have been tragedy in church. But otherwise, really, really cool, my friend. Very nice. Let's see else. Who else is here? Alison Johnson, the beautiful, beautiful lady from the Bay. Always so excited to have you on as well. Lovely. Nick Miller, my very, very good friend. How are you keeping, Nick? Always good to see you as well. Debbie Murray, how are you keeping? And how is Colin keeping as well? Please send our best regards and wishes to him too. And it is always wonderful to see you. I get so excited when you see you because you're such a bubbly person. Really, really lovely. Yes, what Alison says, hope you're all well. I'm busy making exams and listening. My girls start end of the year exam on Thursday. I'm telling you, it's just a wink. I know I've had to give up a class or two for exams already, and it's my second week in. And next week on Wednesday, I've got to do invigilation already as well. But I've been sitting the whole day doing lessons, and I actually ordered textbooks for myself so I could get online access. And so I have my own set of textbooks. So I've been putting together a whole lot of different classes because I have about 7 different lessons to prep for the week. But I think I've got it nailed. And as I said, I'm thinking of good things. I nailed it. We're going to be talking about a little bit of commitment today. We're going to talk about commitment as we go along. Hello, Debbie, White Zulu, Debbie. I'm going through everybody quickly as well so that I can actually start chatting and talking and see what you guys have got to say. Drafts are bad. I don't know where you get the draft from the water. But anyway, Buzzy, Nick. Coral, I am so chuffed that you are here today. It is absolutely an honor and a privilege to have you here. CB1, how's it going, my friend? Really, really good to have you here too. Absolutely, absolutely awesome and excellent. Of course, we've got to address the elephant in the room. Ta-da! 10:43. You go, Booker. I nearly had a hernia. I was thinking that I was speaking in tongues the first half. Eventually, however, I would like to apologize to the ref what I said to him in the first half. However, I would really like to thank the ref for listening to me and pulling his finger out of his ear and actually doing something about it in the second half. Well done, Booker. 43-10. That was an annihilation of New Zealand. I think they said 2023. We beat them, was it 27-10 or something like that? We beat them by 17. This is the furthest that we have ever beat them. It is absolutely, absolutely awesome. Really, really fun, and absolutely something that was had me off my seat. It was really well worth, because I had to charge home from work on Saturday, because I'm still doing some work on Saturdays as well. And let me just get that off a bit. I still work on Saturdays a bit, and so I sort of like missed the intro to it. So yeah, there's a lot to look at there. Debbie, thanks. Always good to see you Sunday. White Zulu, thanks. Much kind words. Always, you cannot but be kind, White Zulu. Right, stepping straight into our first headline. Oops, there I am. Into our first headline. A very, very, very sad week to a very, very, very good man. Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk. I get goosebumps when I think about it. It just seems to be untrue. It just seems to be untrue. It is an absolute shocker. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was one of these these AI jokes and things to that effect when I first read it. And after that, then everything just started plummeting in. And I cannot believe that this young man, 31, 32, 33 years old, wife, 2 little children, and we'll go through the things that are being said and done about it. I will show you something. The loveliest thing that I've got to show you is, let's put it up there. The loveliest thing that I've got to show you is a thing that one person actually said to the ladies on The View. Now, you know Whoopi and her team that are always criticizing these people. Wait for it. Just hang in there for it. Please, guys, hang in there. But there's one thing that I must admire about Charlie. And unfortunately, he did take a very high price for it. And it actually came to me just the other day, because I was thinking about my religion as well, and you know what? Sometimes we're wondering why things are not going right, and we're also, but because we tend to sit on the wire, we don't commit. We have a life of non-committal because we are so cautious on where to take a side and where we want to fall. And we're afraid that once we commit, that we've actually got to put the effort in. It's in anything. Somebody once said to me the other day, I'm trying to help someone. Well, not the other day. It was quite a while ago, actually. And she was supporting this guy who had, wouldn't say mental health problems, but he did have a bit of a health problem as such. But she started walking a path with him. And as she thought, well, you're right, now you're okay. You don't need me anymore. You go, no, I'm not okay. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't do that. And I said to her, you know what his problem is? It's not that he's not well, but he's afraid that you will stop interacting with him, that you will stop helping him, that you will stop. He's afraid to walk it alone. He's afraid to commit to something. And it's the same with when it comes to our religious life. You know what? I know, some people might watch the show and they're not Christian. It's your prerogative. I'm not going to try and change your mind. I'm just saying that if you are you really Christian, or are you adept to the idea of being Christian? Are you adept to reading your Bible, regularly say your prayers? But you know what? You are there, but I keep a reservation, I remember the time when I was in junior school and we had a Scripture Union holiday camp, and there was one bad guy, and obviously there was the good guy. And this bad guy said, well, if you change your little sign that says, you're for Jesus, and you turn it around, you take it off, or you put a new sign on that says you're for me, I'll give you chips. Well, it didn't take long for people to change their signs. And then some of us still kept our little I'm for Jesus sign, but we turned it around and drew his insignia on the back just so that we could get some chips. And in the end, the chips were little pieces of styrofoam. He'd actually done what the devil does, promises you something and delivers you absolute plastic. But because we weren't 100% committed, and I don't know if this is how we go through our lives so often, we often run, Carl, I'm committed. Yeah, no, you seem to have that one-way line, but I'm talking in general. Now, I'm not saying that there's Christians on the stream and that aren't 100% committed. I just sometimes find that people keep that little yellow card for the timeout, for the reservation in their pockets all the time so that we don't have to do that commitment. But at the same time, we're wondering why we are not reaping that 100%, why we don't have that 100% peace in our heart. You know what? I prayed for peace in my heart, but there's no peace in my heart. Now, the reason I brought that up with Charlie Kirk is Charlie Kirk was 100% committed. And when you become committed, you suddenly carry the responsibility of your commitment. And so many people veer away from their responsibilities. You know what? You want to ride the boat, but you are concerned about having to row as well. And Charlie went into what he believed 100%. And by the way, he was also a Christian and definitely always professed the favor and his grace of the Lord Jesus Christ that was his Savior. He never shied away from that either. But he was 100% in what he did. And I think most of us don't reach our end goal. We don't get our inner peace. We don't get our connection. Lord, why am I not connected to you? Well, when did you actually put 100% commitment in, or you're holding that yellow card in your pocket so that when there is a penalty and it's too bad for me to face, I can take a time out? And that's something that we've really, really got to take a look at. If we take a look at Charlie took a bullet for it. And yes, it's not that he wanted it, and no, I don't want to say he didn't think he was in danger. Obviously, he knew that he had a risky business because he had to have bodyguards and that as well. But wow, his commitment was 150% into what he did. You could see his heart and soul was into it. And somewhere along the line, I took a look and said, you know what, does it take a martyr, somebody to be taken out before you realize that you are not 150% into what you are doing? You, as I said, he did his speaking. He knew his facts. He believed his facts. He was passionate about his facts. He believed in his God. He was passionate about his God. Are we? How passionate are we about our lives? We want peace. We want serenity, but we want it with condition, with a brand new car, with a new house, with over enough money, with, you know, we've got this condition. So we keep this yellow card so that we can time out if we want to, because we're not 100. We're in the game. We're definitely in the game. We're playing rugby. But, oh, we can play whatever, netball maybe or something like that. But we keep a yellow card. And you've got to take that yellow card out of your pocket and throw it away and commit 100%. And then you will start finding changes within you. Charlie paid the ultimate price for committing 150%. And I tell you what, if he knew the day that he was going to die, I do not believe that man would have committed any less than what he did. He was a remarkable man. It was an absolute tragedy, a shock. I'll look at them. I haven't been looking at the messages at all. He did a revelation of good things. He opened the world's eyes. Yes, Debbie's thing opened the world's eyes. We need to step up and carry on his legacy. Now, this is what I'm talking about. Are we prepared to commit? And this is half the problem in South Africa. Everybody's got so much to say, We talk about it. We complain about it. We complain about churches not being right. We complain about the government not being right. We complain about this. We complain about each other. We complain about attitudes. We can't even stand together, but we are not prepared to commit. Just in case that commitment is going to sometimes make you uncomfortable, because you've got to stick to it. You need to stick to it to get that commitment. And this is what I was talking about, getting into your conscious, into your subconscious. Your subconscious doesn't change like that. Your subconscious is like a plantation. You plant the seed and you've got to stay committed while that seed is germinating. There's nothing on the lands. And then it's going to start growing. And that seed, as the parable of the sower says, it depends on where it lands. And I'm telling you, if you've got some weeds around you and you've got some rocks around you and you've got people wanting to steal you, you've got to weather that. You've got to weather that while it's growing. And the only time you're going to actually reach a more comfortable or more controlled or going, or a roll, if you want to put it. I'm on a roll. Call me a hot dog. No, but anyway, is when you have actually been committed for the period and faced the trials and tribulations of actually getting through your commitment to actually going. And this is what I saw in a man that was ripped away from us so suddenly, so unnecessarily, and from the greed and people who couldn't commit because they couldn't take what he was right about. So they took his life so that he could not pronounce it anymore. That was ridiculous. Buzzy, that was sad. Rest in peace, Charlie, says White Zulu. Carl, we know you committed because you said the rumors gevager and not it was busted. So, and I know what you meant. You meant that they had used insecticide in the room. But I nearly fell off the chair when you said that because I thought Carl's going to drop it today. But he didn't. He was committed. Debbie says he was a generational genius. No one should be assassinated merely for having beliefs. No one should ever be assassinated for anything. It is just not there. White Zulu, what does she say? Debbie Murray. The king of, the king of legend. Let's do what's right. Thank you. Welcome as well to you. Very, very fantastic. Thank you very, very much. There we go. Coral says, commitment is a daily decision. Yeah, you got to wake up every morning and recommit. It's not something that you just spin and it carries on spinning with those little balls. I was playing with them this weekend. Not my balls. They fell in the toilet. But the other ones that you pick up the one ball and goes tick, 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 and will go on forever and ever because of kinetic energy. Every morning you've got to restart them because they run down every day. I agree 150%. Shosaloza from Australia. Well, howdy there, mate. Shosaloza. Australia. I often get, what's the name? I'm a little half off Australians for beating us, but otherwise you're welcome. No, I'm kidding. At least we got our second one back again. You guys are top of the log still. Well done. Sum. Coral? I don't know what sum means. Some. White Zulu. Ellison says, hi, everyone. I don't know. Did I jump to the top again? No. White Zulu. Greetings, all you wonderful people. Who's this now? Oh, Debbie's greeting. Where did I go? Did I shoot to the top? I think I must have shot to the top again or something. Really not the most having to tune. Wifey's on there as well. Hello there, excellent friends. Hope I haven't missed anyone. CB, I did greet you, and I did see them greeting Coral. Tea with honey. Ha! Sweet tea. He did Revelations of good things open the world's. Yeah, let's put that one up there. He did revelation of good things and opened the world's eyes that we now need. He was committed. You know what? When he spoke, people actually, if you didn't agree with it, you actually rethought what you were thinking because he backed it up with facts. He researched it. He knew what he was talking about. Sometimes that's what keeps us back is our laziness. We're not prepared to research what we want to commit to. And yes, I'm talking about our religion and our Christianity. But what about your job? What about your life? What about how that you look at life? What about your home? What about getting something done that you're wanting to do? What about that phone call that you've been wanting to make? That message that you've been wanting to send? What about stop complaining and actually start doing. And I don't mean if you do something, suddenly you're going to be a millionaire. That's not it. I just said to you that growing is going to be a tough time. And then even when you have grown, the locusts come, and the drought comes, and the storms come. And it's easier said when it's not storming. But yes. Let me get back down. Debbie, I'm proud of my faith and it's important in my life. Colin agrees that what saved his own life in this horrific motor vehicle accident, prayers in the morning before we start our day. There's no better way that you can start your day. On my way in my taxi, my whole taxi is a little church service on the way to school. I have my Angus, I have my reading, I have my prayers. It's my time on the way to school in the morning. Some of us live our current lives on the seed we sowed, good or bad. Yeah, you know what? When corn's not working, try potatoes, bro. King of Legends, I'm from the most lefty city in this country called... Now, King of Legends, something I want to know. Is it Melbourne or Melbourne? Because I remember Barry Hilton saying, he asked a friend, and he was saying to a friend, Melbourne. And the guy said, no, Melbourne. And he said, no, well, Melbourne. He says, no, you say Melbourne. It's pronounced and spelt Melbourne. And he looked at him and he says, oh, well, then I actually watched a good movie the other day. It was called The Bourne Identity. So is it Melbourne or Melbourne? It's like I have a problem with the British over here. Samosa. And they all laugh at me. Samosa, apparently. Oh, no, Debs. He's still suffering the effects of concussion. Oh, yes. Melbourne like Cape Town. Yeah, but anyway. I need to go move on a bit as well. This Debbie posted, I thought this was really beautiful. Let me take my ugly face off here. But if you take a look, I think he woke up a giant. You know what? The person who assassinated him, and I don't know, you know what? Your point of view, I don't know if it can well be. What's it? King of Legends, you pronounced it Melben. Okay, I saw the Ben identity the other day as well in Aussie. Otherwise, any other way, and I cringe for days. Good one, thanks. But I love this because it's a little picture of the back of God and Charlie, and it says, do you think someone will pick it up, Lord? And he says, someone will, Charlie, someone will. And I think that motivation has put through enough for people to start saying, enough is enough. This world is going to tatters. And once again, we need to commit, and we need to commit right. He based his principles on Christian values as well. And Christians have been the most persecuted religion, or Christianity is the most persecuted religion in the world. So if anyone ever thought it was easy, no. Is it worth it? Yes. Will you pay a price? I'm sure. Will it be worth it? Yes. I'm not too sure. My sister-in-law stays close to the place with an A, Adelaide, about 2 or 3 hours away from Adelaide. They stay in the primitive area, but they like farms and things like that. Freaking hell, snakes. Dude, I am so scared of snakes. We've got to go and visit my sister-in-law in Australia, and now we're going to like sort of like in a farm plotty area type of thing. In freaking Australia, I ask you with tears in my eyes, I am so afraid of snakes that when I sit in the bath, I don't even look down. That's how afraid of snakes I am. And I'm telling you, it's the last thing I want to do is end up with some kind of wildlife stuck in my bed or my shoe or somewhere like that. Apparently they have flipping spiders, which I really don't mind. I just mind when they're the size of cats coming into your room. So yeah. King says it's not the stakes to worry about, but the woman. Thank you. But yeah, getting back there again, not the snakes. But yeah, getting back to Charlie again, I don't know. You know what? They've arrested that one college guy. His family actually gave him up, and that. You know, I was watching a live thing today, and it said the reason why Charlie Kirk was killed or assassinated, and I thought, well, let's hear, you know, and then the governor of, I don't know what place, wherever it was, he's talking and he's like, thank you to them, and we've done so well, and we've done this, and we've done that, and that happened, and this and this. And I thought, okay, that was a very good PR stunt. Bugger off now. So he says, okay, now I'm going to hand you over to Kash Patel, the director of the FBI. And Kash Patel came up, hello, everybody. No, he didn't like that, but hello, you know, I'm the big cheese here. Yeah, so, see so. But anyway. And I'd just like to tell you that it was this corporation and these people's cooperation, and we got it with under 36 hours. We had him arrested, and we had, it was 33 to be exact, and we had people at the scene within 16 minutes, and I've walked the scene. And you know what? I know people need to be thanked, and I know, but you know, do you have to toot your horn? I eventually switched channels because he spent all his time just saying how great they were, how wonderful everybody is. Yeah, he thanked the FBI teams and the government's teams and the sheriff's teams and everybody, and we were all one team, and we did this and we did this and we did this, and we've been doing this, and we released this evidence there, and we released this there, and this is why we are transparent, and la, 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 la. And then he said, okay, thank you. And I, where's why? And then this other sheriff guy came on or whatever. So I thought, okay, maybe you're going to say. And he said, I'd just like to take a few moments to thank. And then I switched it off. I thought, you know what? This absolute nonsense that people put onto YouTube, they put on a statement, and then they go right off. It's absolutely ridiculous. What's Debbie says, those bugs life in Oz are not for sissies. I am a sissy, so it's not for me. Something I wanted to share as well. Put me in. Down there. Okay, that's right. One man was asked, what did you gain by regularly praying to God? The man replied, nothing. But let me tell you what I lost. I lost anger. I lost ego, greed, depression, insecurity, and fear of death. Sometimes the answer to our prayers is not gaining, but losing, which ultimately is a gain. And I really and truly hope that we lose resentment as well, because geez, can I resent people at times. There's especially one person that just ticks me off to pieces. But yeah, let's get back. One for Charlie. I get goosebumps when I even talk about it. I know everyone's FBI did this and everything to that effect. What's it? We were having terrible problems in the UK. You had a huge, I've got actually a couple of pictures. You had a huge rally about anti-racism and taking the country back. But yeah, because you guys got a little Pakistan there. I was actually looking for you, Fiona. I was trying to check in the crowd there if you were chasing around on your wheels there somewhere, but I couldn't quite see. I think you had a big sign that was hiding you. No, I'm kidding. I saw the rally in the UK. At least people are becoming more. I think people are starting to get tired of this nonsense. However, we still end up with this. Now, these are people who are saying, rest in peace. They just, you know, R.I.P Charlie Kirk and things like that. And this woman's going, you know what, your brother has died, if your buddy has died, if your buddy has died, if Charlie Kirk. It's It's nauseating.
Your homie dead. Fuck your homie dead. Fuck your homie dead.
Oh, your homie's dead.
Fuck your homie dead. Yeah, fuck your homie dead.
Evil is real, people, and it kind of looks like that. Evil. Evil. Murder is bad. She is evil. Have not said. Why are you being so hateful?
Why are you so hateful? Why are you so hateful? Yeah.
Hey, can somebody tell her to back up?
Can you
please?
not put the camera in my face?
I'm sitting here. You walked up to me.
Okay, well,
I don't want this. I said rest in peace.
And I can
Just
do
leave
this
it
too.
alone. Please don't come after
Ma'am,
me.
you've been
I want to be
being
left alone.
I'm not emotional, ma'am. Don't tell me what I am and what I'm not. You can get out of my face because I could tell you what you are, but you won't like it.
You're being aggressive. You're being aggressive.
I'm not being aggressive. My voice is
You are
very
being
calm. You're calling me
aggressive.
aggressive because I'm a black woman.
Not at all.
You are.
we're not.
I'm very
You're being
calm right now.
aggressive.
You bring race into it.
I'm
It's a
how?
sign of
Why are you?
Come on now.
Like racing at me? No, I just said I don't want to talk to you.
Arrogance.
I don't want.
Lekker. She was taken out. She was taken out for being a nuisance to society. But listen to this. What's Ifiana says? Hey, our favorite European South African Hendo. How's it going, my friend? How are you keeping? Watching UK comedy videos. We are not doing comedy today. We are being serious, Hendo. We need commitment. Your commitment is far off here. Yeah, goosebumps, but things like that made my skin crawl, I must say. A million folks yesterday in central London. Yep, they also had it. And you know what? As Debbie's posts showed there, they did not kill a voice. They awakened a giant by assassinating Charlie Kirk. They awakened a giant. I think sometimes that is just a tipping point to where people are going to say, you know what, we can take this and we can take it no further. We have tolerated your idiocy, your lunacy, your refusal to be reasonable, your absolute arrogance and entitlement to carry yourselves over the edge this far and no more. Yeah, always bring out the blooming race card. Hello there, my excellent friend. I think people have realized that their mask has slipped. If you disagree with them, they hate you. There we go. Definitely. Definitely. And you know what? I don't mind you disagreeing with me. I mind you being arrogant about it, and I mind you being harmful about it. What's the word I'm looking for? But I mind you hurting people with it. I don't mind you disagreeing with me. People are welcome to disagree. As I've said before, I have interesting conversations with people. I really do. Some interesting conversations I've had are with people who I disagree with and who disagree with me. Some of the most interesting conversations that I've had are with people that I deeply disagree with. But on both ends of the sides, there was no hostility. There was just pure fact and belief. And that's fine. I don't mind you disagreeing with me. But I do mind when you become hostile, arrogant, entitled, and unreasonable. They took out the moderate. The time for talk is over. BR594. Yeah, they took out the moderate. Yeah, time for talk is now over. Now they've pushed the buck. I didn't see Neil de Beer's funeral. I did watch the tribute to him. Shame. His passing was very, very sad, and it has now been absolutely overshadowed with this. Hendo says that was the most stupid thing. Let's put it up there. That was the most stupid thing to kill Charlie Kirk. Now the Conservative has now got a martyr and a political hero. He was the Rush Limbaugh of the youth of America. Yeah. They've awakened a giant of people who've realized that the people have gone too far. People have gone too far. One of his favorite verses, let's go up there, Debbie, let's get it up there. One of his favorite verses was Psalm 46, verse 1. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. So true. Beautiful. I actually, one of my readings last week, or my little pieces and listenings last week, was Psalms of David as well. And it was the beautiful, very well known Psalm 23, Psalm of David. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. And he didn't say, it was pointed out beautifully, he didn't say, if I should walk through a valley of darkness. He says, even though when I walk through the valley of darkness, when I walk through the valley of darkness, which means that you are going to go through troubles, I will fear no evil. He never said, you know what, if I maybe end up going that way, or if it's possible, or you know what, if I don't get to skip a tunnel or so, it's going to happen. No, he said, when, even though. So you've got to realize that your life is going to have, it is your reality. It is the maze that you're not going to get out of, and it is reality. And if we don't start talking about it, we don't start committing to our reality. And I would like to make commitments to myself today, never mind to you guys, or never mind to anybody else, but and I'm telling you guys, to my religion, to my life, and to getting things done. Commitment to putting in yeah, so that I can reap over yeah. So watch, I might start talking sense one of these days. Yeah, Charlie Kirk has become a higher name than anything else right now. He kept saying he was course correcting the youth as the next generation. Yes, he was. And I think to a certain extent, he was actually getting it right. What he also did realize is that it is something that is repetitive and consistent. It didn't happen overnight. Yeah, I also saw his wife, Hendo. I saw his wife speaking. It was quite heartbreaking. What's BR4549 says, South Korea had a march all saying we are Charlie Kirk. Wow. That's how far it goes to South Korea. And I saw the New Zealanders doing the haka for him with the posters and that for him there. There we go. Hendo's put the link up for the video link of Charlie Kirk's wife's address. It's in the chat. Anyway, let me put another thing on there. Take a look at this. Andrew Tate's furious reaction to Charlie Kirk's tragedy. You know what?
The irony of it is you've got this kid who is, purporting to be anti-fascist, but actually using violence and a gun to silence permanently someone whose views he doesn't agree with. The point being, that is the epitome of fascism.
Well, that's exactly it. So the reason this is so dangerous from the left, and it's not as dangerous from the right, is because the people who are on the right live in a version of objective reality. We live in the real world. These people do not live in the real world. If you're going to believe that a man is a woman, and you're going to believe that we should have no borders for our country and unlimited numbers of people can turn up and just steal from us, if you're going to believe that criminals shouldn't go to jail, you're not a person who's sensible. You now have no parameters from which to operate your logic. So if you're going to live in a complete fantasy land, it becomes a lot easier to justify murdering a political opponent than it does if you operate from a frame of rationality. So for that reason, the left are far more dangerous, because all of their ideas are dangerous because none of them are true. None of them are real. For the same reason it's dangerous for me to say to you, gravity isn't real, you can jump off a building. If you start believing in things that are completely falsified, completely fantasy, then murder is the end result of all of it. So the left is a serious problem across the world. It's a serious problem across America, especially. You add in a spiritual sickness where we have nothing unifying us in the West anymore. We don't share respect for a flag. We don't share respect for the country we're in. We don't share language. We don't share religion. We don't even share economic prosperity anymore. There's literally nothing unifying us. And if you're going to remove the capability to debate and discuss ideas, then you're going to have an absolute civil war. And that's what's so sad, that Charlie Kirk literally was the #1 guy trying to speak. He wasn't trying to inflame tensions. He wasn't trying to push violence. He was the guy saying, look, let's talk this through and let me show you why you're wrong. He was the good guy who did the right thing, and he caught a bullet for it. And that is truly devastating.
But when you...
Yep. He did the talking. But anyway, I don't want to keep you in the dark any longer. Here is, you know how I feel about the TV program The View. That little troll Whoopi and her entourage, who are so left that if they were a wedding ring, they'd fly right off your finger because they couldn't stay so left from you. They'd need to go further. and they are critical, they are destructive, they are always being egotistical and crushing. I wouldn't even say towards right. You know what? As Renaldo would go, center. Now I don't know. You know what? That's something that I've also started to get a, sorry to say this, but a chlay with. I've had a rift with the fact of center, because center is non-committal. Are you left or are you right? You know what? You've got to believe on one side, and this is what I'm saying is we are so, well, you know what? I can handle this, but I can't handle that. It's, you know, I by all means, I'm not shooting Renaldo now. I'm just giving a general, because you know, people are like, well, you know, does it depend on the company that you're in? I'm a hard rocker, punk, anti or anarchist, whatever, when I'm with my friends, and on Sunday when I'm in church, I'm a good Christian. When I'm at work, I'm a really hard worker, but when I'm at home, I'm complaining about the crap at work all the time. You know what? How many? And somebody said it earlier on. I think it was Legend, King of Legends, Thief of King of Leon, Legends. Sorry, long word. Who said their masks have got to now come off. The masks are now starting to come off. But I don't want to hold you up anymore. I did say to you, I have really an excellent piece from The View, and somebody had to say it. Check this out. Listen to this man. Listen to this man, because this is what The View is saying. Oh, they are so heartbroken about Charlie Kirk. And listen to what he says about that. This guy is legend.
I am heartbroken over it. I cannot believe that someone would kill another person because they were speaking their beliefs.
Well, for years, you and your allies in the media have been conditioning half of the country against the president, his supporters, and figures like Charlie Kirk. Trump is Hitler, his supporters are fascists, right-wing extremists is danger to our democracy, they're Nazis, you know the words.
Right.
Yet you seriously sit here, acting surprised when lunatics who believe your words decide to take matters into their own hands. Your side burn and loot every time things don't go your way. Your side tried to assassinate the president multiple times. Your side burned Teslas all around the country and wanted Elon dead. Your side assassinated Charlie Kirk. Your side is currently celebrating it. So don't talk to me about, well, this is not a left and right issue. It is the left. It's only the left. It's ironically the Democratic side who engages in political violence and killings of figures they disagree with. And every time something like this happens, you come here, you tune down the rhetoric, crocodile tears, ooh, I can't believe this. Then a week later, you go right back at the dictator and fascist rhetoric again. So you don't really care. You're just pretending. And for that, fuck you, and you in a corner too.
Okay. I don't think that was really on the show, because their reactions would have been much more catty and what's the name? As BR549OU812 says, he inserted himself into that show. Yes, I think he does that on AI wise, etc., etc. But I couldn't have said it better to those three little cats. They are absolutely, absolutely little cats. And I couldn't have said it better. I hope they get to see this, because they're sudden, oh, I can't, you know what, they non-committed, they stirrers. And this is what we got to be careful for people in life is stirrers. You know, don't become a stirrer. You know, your mom always used to say to you, don't go and play with those kids. You know what a bad influence they are. But I always used to say, well, I'm not when I was small, but now I always say to the kids, remember, don't be the kid that the moms warn the other kids about. Don't be the one that is the stirrer, because we're happy. Life is exhilarating. It's adrenalizing for us when there's trouble, when things go on. This is why mainstream media, this is why they can't help themselves, because they are stirring. They lie to get sensation. They lie. They spew absolute. Renaldo did a whole video on News 24's opinions that are all over the place, because they're upset, because these days we have media and we get to pick our media. And we get to pick people like Chris. We get to pick people like Renaldo. We get to pick people like Joe Emilio. We get to pick people like Morningshot. They might not always be spot on, but they're damn close, because as Renaldo said, they don't lose a slap on the hand. They lose their viewership. I mean, I took a look. Last week, I was totally unprepared, and I just waffled for an hour, and I looked at my views, and yeah, you know what? I don't have very many views, but I used to get in the 50s, 59. If I hit 60, my balls touch the water. But I'm kidding. But I could see last week's was such a washout that it was down to 27. And you pay for what you don't prepare for. And if the same as this, if I don't commit to doing a show, I was off a weekend before, I come back and waffle, nobody's going to have grace with you, except you couple of diehards out there. Thank you very much. Henda says, lie by omission and clickbait, BS from Orwellian mockingbird fake media platforms. Media stirs. Don't be the stirrer. So many people don't want to commit, but they want to see stirring. So they'll stir from the back. They'll look so good in the front. It's like somebody said, oh, these people must be satanic. Why? Because they don't look good? Let me tell you, the biggest Satanists on earth are the nicest, genuinely decent-looking people that live next door to you and share food with you and have you over for a braai. I'll tell you that. They are not people that look like Morticia Adams and Wednesday Adams and things like that. Those are the wannabes. The real guys, they don't look like that. They look like the nicest people under the sun, but they will stir the living daylights out of you. Right this week, I have never seen somebody so professional, and I don't want to let out too much because it's not my position to say, addressed somebody that was actually supposed to be coming to work for them and decided not to in the end due to a miscommunication. Instead of addressing the person and saying, what seems to be the problem? How can we solve this? Was called a vile scoundrel, and that they would make incantations against them for their unhappiness for the rest of their lives. And goodness, you know what? I just had this view of this professional person dancing around a pot, throwing in toads' legs and things to that effect. It is amazing at how emotionally charged society is becoming these days, and they are not thinking straight. And I think this bullet was a wake-up call. It was the alarm clock. It's absolutely it's nerve-wracking. So I'm saying to you, you need to commit. I need to commit. And if you thought you were committed, relook your commitment and see if you're not holding that yellow card. But yeah, I'm really pleased. Anyway, before I did promise a little bit of saving. So yeah, something nice for a change. So imagine you call your pool guy around to fix the pool, and he ends up saving your dog. Take a look at this. I thought this is really cute. Now, if the music's not too good, I had to change the music at the background because I think I'm already taking a copyright strike for the first song I played, so I didn't want to push it. But yeah. The good news is the puppy pulled through. But yeah, imagine that. Imagine that. Well, we did get a few pictures of the British strike. They were very adamant about their rights. They even came in from the pastures to bring their signage along to us and show us what they expected. But yeah, the weekend in Britain, how's that? How's that? 100,000 plus people? 100,000 plus people. I have never seen turnouts. I think this is a turning point. I honestly think this has become a turning point. Endo, yes. Endo, you missed my rave about the rugby. Someone on the right, yeah, my fault, my choice. But yeah, we want our country back. BBC, ITV, Sky's News tell us lies. Stop watching. Once again, you'll see here, they're referring to the media. The media that is supposed to be informing us is disinforming us, is creating part of the stirring. But take a look at the crowds. The crowds. The crowds. Absolutely, absolutely unfathomable at the amazing, amazing amounts of crowds there are. And of course, I did have some news, but I always try and tell you guys, please don't forget, I only talk and I get your opinion and my opinion. I am, what's Endo say? Over 400,000 folks. Thanks, Endo. Yeah, Debbie says admire their support. Yeah. Fiona says more than that. VR549 says, I've done with watching fools, ball, and sports. No, you've got to watch rugby, Springbok rugby. You've got to watch Springbok rugby. It is, you know what? It's why my blood pressure goes through the roof. But yeah, the media. But these are the guys that you watch, that I watch, that we try and keep up to date with facts and to keep us on the straight and narrow. Don't forget to give them a look. Their links are in the description downstairs.
If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them,
Okay, so those are the boykies you watch, and they will pick you up there. Hendo's just chucked Chris Wyatt's video of the assassination of Charlie Kirk and Rob Herself link in the chat downstairs as well. So yeah, go and take a look at these guys. They are, and I've actually got another one there. I think I've got Morningshot over there as well, and there's actually another guy who's got totally different views as well. But I actually, as I said, watch them to actually just maintain a little bit of balance. You see, it does give me media perspective from a different point of view, although he does draw media from media as well. I don't think they do the probably the insight and research, although they say they do. I'm not against it at all. It's definitely there. But you know what? Chris does hard fact research. Ronaldo, when he comes up with his videos and his things, he's done a lot of pacing and everything behind it. It's what they do. I actually get nervous when I haven't seen anything from Chris for a while, because I go through and it sort of just balances me to what's happening. I watch the other one that's also down here, is called Skidmarks or Brickmark or whatever, and he has opposite views to what many of the others that I watch have. But sometimes it just gives me a balanced perspective, which is very important, because it is important that you make your own mind up. I've told you that before 1,050,000 times. But don't not listen, or should I say don't hear, listen, because there are facts that go into these things that come to you, and you will see the real thing. This isn't the mainstream media that has to play to anybody's fiddle. The only thing they've got to gain out of this is the truth for their viewers and the people that trust them. And you only lose trust once, and you cannot make it up again. I promise you, it's like having a wall with a crack in it. You can put paint over it, you can put polyfiller in it, you can do everything, and that wall can look brand new, but that crack will never go away or go out of that wall. Trust is something that is never put together again. And this is what the media has lost. And this is what we still have in some or few social media channels. We just need to be very, very careful about what we choose. And yeah, seen it and wished I didn't. Trust most. I follow everyone here. Colonel Chris Wyatt of Woeskoi. Yeah, no, Gousie. And Woeskoi Gousie. Yeah, no, they do good. They do good. Sama Sambit is entertaining. I get some nerves a little bit sometimes, but yeah, he's good. He's good. I like that other one, that Citizen Concern. She also speaks well. But you were talking about the Bokke. Checkers got it right.
Mr. Fasaki? I need your help.
La Siposan, la. Feel the smoke. Be one with the smoke. What's on? What's up? What's up? What's up? But Siposan, all of this means nothing without the right force.
Mastering the Braai starts with SA's number one. The new 2025 Championship Boerewors winner, now available. Exclusive to Checkers.
Wors on, wors off. Checkers got it right. I don't know if they went to the same guys that do what's his name? Nando's, but this one they got really, really right. I thought that was pretty cool. Really, it was. Yeah, I do have news and views and crappies and things like that, and corruption. I mean, there's I don't even really want to go through it all, because I've got it. There's a lone gunman kills a man and injures two others in Mitchell's Plain. They were just sitting on the side of the road, and they were wiped out all of a sudden. And then I've got the debt owed to waterboards, 25.1 billion. This is by municipalities owed to the water boards. But we got water problems. But why did we let it get to that problem? Then we got power patronage and the death of South Africa's growing crisis. Targeted killings are becoming easier to do these days because they are getting away with it. Crime experts reveal contract killings cost anything from 5,000 to 1 million rand, depending on the target's profile. It's up. Global Initiative Against Transitional Organized Crime in 2024, 110% increased in target killings over the past decade. The decline in South Africa's criminal justice system has created fertile ground for profile of available hitmen. I mean, you just need to take a look at everyone who's been killed. Insolvency lawyer, Bouwer van Niekerk was gunned down. Ekurhuleni chief auditor, Mpho Mafole was killed while driving on the R23. Prosecutor Tracy Brown was murdered in her own driveway. But anyway, what would you come to expect? Let's take a look at what you could expect. Here's something interesting.
Can you believe this? Some of the eggs on the market aren't even from chickens. They're made in small factories. In certain rural workshops, workers don't raise hens at all. Instead, they make fake eggs in just minutes. The process is shocking. They use a clear chemical liquid to copy the egg white, then mix another liquid to look and feel like a yolk. The yolk goes into a mold, more egg white is poured around it, and they can even fake tiny air bubbles. The shell is even crazier. They press calcium powder into the shape of an eggshell, brush on glue, and stick it all together. The final product looks, weighs, and even feels just like the real thing. The scariest part, when you crack it, you hear the same click: fry it, boil it, scramble it. Almost no difference in taste or texture. Most people can't tell at all, which means you might be eating chemicals without knowing. Each egg takes less than 5 minutes to make, so they can mass produce them fast. This is the so-called high imitation food scam. People spend real money, get fake eggs, and risk their health. So remember, don't be fooled by cheap, perfect-looking eggs. Always buy from trusted sources, because in this scam, saving a little money could cost you your health.
I have a funny feeling that this video is a scam, just by the by. I don't think you get fake eggs just yet. But yeah, that's Debbie. Hendo says, Debbie, ex-dorm push power. Welcome to Wakanda in St. Mood. You're a good explainer. You got the last word. I never expected that. But anyway, just think, you might be having lunch, and if you have a cat, they're they're sharing animals. These cats are wonderful animals. Honestly, they just want to share. They just want to share. If you have a cat at home and you have a lovely stew on the stove, I would suggest you check the stew first. Just a thought. Just a little thought as we go by. But anyway, Powerball jackpot was apparently 1.3 billion. I think it was last Wednesday. What would you do if you won the lottery? 173 people said they'd be saving money. 84 said spending money. 97 said, and this is worrying, hiring someone to tell you what to do with the money. That's what 100% of people should be doing. 461 Schneiders said they would make sure no one knows. Only 17 said they would make sure everyone knows. And 111 said they would do something else. Jawohl. And then what time is dinner time? Now, apparently with Gen Zers, dinner time, 5 p.m. is becoming all the more popular. First of all, because it's healthier. Time limits. Some people are working different hours, flexible hours. And also, the biggest thing is the health situation. Doctors are also saying that it is better to eat earlier so that your stomach and your body has time to digest, so that when you go to sleep and you're resting, that it doesn't have to be working, so that your whole body can rest. Otherwise, it's trying to digest, and this is when you usually end up having fat creation, as well as the fact that it can eventually in long-term affect your metabolism. So therefore, I'm blaming my mom for feeding me too late in the evenings, and that is why my metabolism got shot to shit. But anyway, what time do you usually have dinner? 37 said before 5 p.m., 48 at 5 p.m., 418 between 5 and 7 p.m., 7 to 9 was 244, after 9, 75, and 30 said we don't eat dinner. But it seems to be between 5 and 9, the biggest amount between 5 and 7, and then the next biggest amount between 7 and 9. Now, we used to also sit there and go, well, you know, it's 7 o'clock usually supper time. And apparently, it's earlier. And if you don't get to do dinner at 5 p.m., at least try and have your last meal 2 to 3 hours before you go to sleep, to at least have most of your digesting time done. Then, of course, from boats to Bentleys, Timbisa's Tender King, the one from the hospital who did all these big deals and that. Angwani Morgan Mamela's Central Syndicate Mastermind in the 2.3, not million, billion rand graft and corruption. He had a flotilla of shell companies controlled by Mela or his relatives, sourced at least 415 in medical supplies. On Thursday, the AFU moved in on a preservation order it had to secure for 325 million in luxury assets belonging to Maumela and his family. This is old Cat. No, not Cat was stuck into one of his companies, but this is the top dog, and they pulled. You'll see now. It was first flagged by Gauteng Department of Health Chief Babita Decoran. Weeks before her assassination, she was the whistleblower and she was assassinated. He is also a President Cyril Ramaphosa's nephew from a previous marriage. However, the president previously distanced himself from the flashy tenderpreneur, and Parliament saying, I don't even know this gentleman. But we also know how Cyril lies, so we don't believe that. Goods were apparently supplied, that were perpetually supplied, were recorded as received more than a year after the request for quotation had closed in some cases and before it closed in others. Moreover, there was no credible evidence that could even be found to suggest that the products or equipment perpetually supplied by the syndicate companies were in fact supplied. It is submitted that Maumela could not have managed this by himself. Of course not. So the procurement and finance department of Tembisa Hospital. So Tembisa Hospital is having, well, hospitals in general, but this is what these fat cats are getting away with. And then Decoran, Babita Decoran, who actually blew the whistle, was shot 12 times as she returned to her South Johannesburg home on the 23rd of August 2021. It's taken 4 years to get to this point. So they've left the hospital draining because 19 days prior, she filed a report detailing possible fraudulent transactions out of Tembisa Hospital worth 850 million, halted the outflow of the money of more than 100 million in a monthly payment run, and flagged 217 companies. Guess what? Miyodo, I think there's some big knob in the hospital or whatever, ignored her call for an urgent investigation, and a report was covered up, and the frozen payments were released after her murder. Of the 100 million Decoran froze, 35 million was due to companies in Maumela's syndicate. Just to show you, this is his network. Here's the little fatso up there. Then there's Tebogo Sebogodi. There's Bamjo Trading and Supplies, Tebogo Medical Supplies, Atang Medical Supplies. Same business address as 7 of the Maumela's companies all over here. Then there was where Vusimusi Masala came in. Black AK Trading, Con Kabeng Trading and Supplies, Falcon Cat Trading and Supplies, YTD Trading and Supplies, Aldo Trading Supplies, cousin Alwani Maumela, his cousin, YTD. It's all a family Carter thing, this. Aldo Construction, Suzwing Trading, Carrington Trading, 1409 Trading, 264 Trading Enterprises. These 5.9 million went, 444,000, 2.47 million, 1.4 million, 27.4 million, 24.3 million, 29.7 million, 4.45 million. Rumari Maumena, the Odani Family Trust, trustee Lucinda Baril, but yes, 4.46 million, 2.46 million, 2.9 million, all flagged. This was all flagged by her. And then there's a Boneni Morella and MHR Nomela Trust. 10 properties to the value of 280 million and a nice little spoiler of 2 properties of flats in Sea Point for 30 million. This is what you pull out of a hospital, guys. This is what you pull out of a hospital. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Gold heading to 4,000. What's Henda say? Gold heading to $4,000 an ounce, over 70,000 Rand an ounce in, well, let's put it up there. Over 70,000 Rand an ounce in SA Rand. Silver bullion has a lot more potential. Can't say it's worth its weight in gold anymore, can you? Yeah, let's leave you with this because I know it's been longer than what I should have been. A wife left to visit her mother, but left a replacement for her husband. does not look amused. So if you leave your husband, don't forget to leave a replacement for him if you go visiting. Oh, guess who's going to have chicken bride tonight? Yeah, but it doesn't make tea. Nice one. I'll leave you with this, guys. I'll leave you with this. Tonight, I tell you that if you want to have standards, you better be the standard. So from my side, Charlie Kirk, rest in peace. To the world, wake up, commit to your lives, commit to what's important to your lives, take the yellow card out of your pocket. Do what you need to do. Do what you need to do to become the best that you can be. But don't try and sit in the middle. There is no center anymore. Pick a side, commit to it, and run with it. Now, I'm not saying go far left. I'm not saying go far right. What I'm saying is commit to your intentions. Stop stirring. Stop riding on the vibe. Stop believing nonsense. Start trusting your gut and start committing. It's going to take effort. It's going to take blood, sweat, and tears at times. And it's easily said when there isn't blood, sweat, and tears. But there will be, and we all know there's the days that we sit and go, why me and how did it happen? Be the standard. If you expect standards, then be the standard that you expect. But we expect so much sometimes and we're not prepared to put in. Guys, look after yourselves. Thank you to all you awesome, wonderful people. To the new people as well, thank you so very much for sitting up with me. Please, the email's downstairs as well, or you can drop a message if you have any suggestions, changes, additions, omittances. Please let me know. Look after yourselves. Commit yourselves. Take care. Be good. And if you can't be good, at least be kind. Cheers.